Alright, I think we're on the last chapter here. So, we're going to try to finish our max. There it is. It's an on-rail shooter. Okay. Whee! Can I get off this? Okay, I also might actually dark shit right now. This is so bad. Okay, screw the laser sights. I hate them so much. Give me the honor 9. There we go. Good gun. Oh, 9mm guns in this game are so good. Yeah, well, Deagle's out of ammo, so. Hello, can I... Thank you.
Todos se reunindo nessa posição!
Oh, this is bad. Not gonna lie, this is not my best, not my best skills on display here. Dun, dun, that is a man over there. It ain't looking good.
I felt like my vacation was coming to an end. Only I wasn't heading home with a sunburn, a bag full of duty-free, and a dose of VD. I was making a bet that would put me in handcuffs or a body bag.
I misjudged where my reticle was. Whoopsie-doo. Picking up a gun. Okay, so the gold ones seem to have like all kinds of upgrades and that stuff to them. So maybe I should have been collecting some of those. Yay.
These were Becker's guys. Him and Victor had a private airport to go with their private army and their private jet.
Very private. What we got here? Oh. Okay, well, let me just swap to 911. 1911, not the 911, it's a slightly different thing.
The doors lead in the direction of the main terminal.
It's also painkiller. I like the communal painkiller.
The customer restroom.
Stop
I
calling.
could get through to the departure gates up ahead.
Such a weird bug.
There were UFE all over the airport, and civilians were being moved out. Looking at it one way, shutting down the airport for their escape was a weird sort of compliment, but one I didn't need.
Yeah. House here, there. Give me a moment. I'm going to try to make the audio a little bit better. Hopefully that sounds a bit better. Nothing else a little bit louder. It was pretty muted. It's early in the morning, so my reaction time is a little bit off. Is that civilian? That's amazing. Stop that! Music. Oh, this one's definitely getting copyright claim.
A gate had opened at the other end of the departure lounge.
Why did this sneeze? Okay, well I just coughed out a sneeze. I think it's a present.
Just perfect. Grenades.
Yes, we
Seu pingo americano de merda!
I need some ammo.
They weren't here. I had to keep moving down through the airport.
There we go, give me that ammo.
Dos!
I should... That's gotten me so many times. I think I've learned by now, but don't just like stand up immediately. Because you get stuck in the animation.
The tram to the next terminal was down the escalators.
I could not even see him. I mean, I knew where he was, but I couldn't see him because of the camera. Made the exact same mistake. Or I just stood up immediately. There we go. Any miscellaneous painkillers?
The tram to the next terminal was down the escalators. Something for the nerves.
Alright, back to the pistols. Pop that. This time. I might do a harder playthrough offline and actually try to collect all the gold guns and stuff just to see what their effects are. Yeah, get parts, buddy. up. Not standing up immediately. Oh god. Come on, I know you're there, buddy.
It didn't look like there'd be any trams leaving until the power was on.
Mini 32s. Yeah, I've learned my lesson from the Juggernauts to just have a higher powered gun on you at some point.
It was. The trams were running again. Maybe
I think it's just a number of headshots you need.
Bring more guys wanting to whack me. Maybe both.
There we go. Yeah, honestly, that's what got me killed so many times. Just standing up for moments I have no need. Okay, so am I supposed to go into the tram?
And we were off. I felt like I might be able to recharge for a second. At least until we pulled into the station.
Oh my god.
And met more murderous assholes.
So rip subtitles. Oh my god.
Son of a bitch!
It didn't work out like that. Of course there'd be a tram full of goons trying to derail me.
God, the pistols in the air are just so much better than the other guns. A low recoil profile.
It was perfect. Everyone wanted a ticket for the Max Payne Express.
Jangled. What? Where did you come from?
I felt like I'd missed out on the joke.
Oh my god.
A real good one.
Come on.
Absolutely insane. Absolute cartoon fuckery.
The tram was slowing down, and I'd only just gotten on board. I had to salvage what I could and see what was waiting for me.
I got some ammo. Oh my god, 7 painkillers? This is going to be a disaster.
This was my stop.
Where's the door? Oh.
It had taken
Other
me
side.
right into the heart of it. Becker's gimps were everywhere, so he and Bronco must be close. The smart move would have been sticking with De Silva and going straight to the hangar, but when was I ever about smart moves? I'm a dumb move guy. Hey Max, we'll drive onto the runway. No thanks, let me walk in the main entrance. I'll put a big shit-eating grin on my face and let these assholes take turns trying to kill me. That's my style, and it's too late in the day to hope for change. Boy, were they throwing numbers at this problem. But then, I'd chosen to be here. I wanted this. Was it redemption? Not really. It was pathetic desperation. and not much else.
Rock, paper, scissors? More like pause for no reason.
The further in I got, the more guys I saw. Becker wasn't running a police force. He was running an army. These guys were better trained and better equipped than anyone I'd seen out here. And I'd seen some mean sons of bitches. The mission was screaming suicide, but I didn't give a damn. At least I'd die being a pain in the ass. There the bastards were, sneaking off in their rich kid's toy.
Tenha uma boa viagem, senhor.
I ain't got nowhere else to go, Becker!
Mr. Payne, I believe you had something to say to me. Mate ele! Mate ele agora!
Amazing.
Não! 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 Pissing in the wrong pool, Mr. Payne!
My fault.
You know, Max, you're just another gringo trying to impose his will on our world.
How many more of your clowns are you gonna send to their deaths?
Do you understand this place, Max?
I just want to do my job, brother!
Hi, kidding the airborne grenade. Yeah, that'll do it. Jesus Christ. Here's where the game opened. Yeah, that shirt is fucked up.
This was it. It was almost over. So I guess I'd become what they wanted me to be. A killer. Some rent-a-clown with a gun who puts holes in other bad guys. Well, that's what they had paid for, so in the end, that's what they got. Say what you want about Americans, but we understand capitalism. You buy yourself a product and you get what you pay for. And these chumps had paid for some angry gringo without the sensibilities to know right from wrong. Here I was, about to execute this poor bastard like some dime store angel of death, and I realized they were correct. I wouldn't know right from wrong if one of them was helping the poor and the other was banging my sister.
Oh my god, yes.
Get in, Max! I'm in, just drive the fucking car! Go!
We had one card left to play.
Just get me close!
The music, oh my god.
Look! There's a whole team of them! Your side!
Come on! Got a flight to catch! It's not going to take off without the car!
Yeah, I'm working on it.
That about sums it up.
They've set up a roadblock!
What? I definitely...
Shit! This isn't good! Shit! Right there! I'm normally a behind-the-desk kind of cop!
If only I'd been one of them, too.
There we go.
I don't know how much more...
That's them!
I think Max has single-handedly just demolished an entire army. Like, legitimately an entire army.
Your career's coming down with that plane. Let's get it over with. Okay. We're going to collide. Taking a starring role, pal. It's a reluctant.
I failed. Fuck. I mean, it's missing one engine.
God damn it.
Planes are kind of fragile for certain things.
Plane. Let's get it over with.
The other.
There we go.
Taking a starring role, pal.
There we go. I thought you just had to destroy the turbine, so you had to do a little bit more. It's actually getting screwed by minimum arming distance.
No!
An impact angle.
Stop! Max! We have what we need on him now. Let him enjoy a trial and a spell in prison. Let him suffer. Trust me.
Yeah, prison would be really rough for specifically him. If he doesn't get out immediately.
You know I'll walk. You'll walk with a limp!
Yeah, that's fair. You could easily explain it off as having occurred during the explosion of the plane that he was lucky to survive. That was a nice little transition there. Broken pieces of the plane turned into parts of the cigarette.
An update on the astonishing organ harvesting scandal. The 55th Battalion of the City Police's Special Forces Unit, who have been implicated in human trafficking, has been disbanded indefinitely. Meanwhile, Victor Bronco, the politician at the center of the scandal, who is accused of laundering money from the scheme to fund his political campaign for mayor, was yesterday found hanged in his police cell. It's not yet clear whether his death was a suicide or simply retribution for his part in a scandal that has so many families missing loved ones that were kidnapped and killed. City officials say a full investigation
Local
is
justice.
underway. Local residents expressed outrage as they have been let down by both law enforcement and city leaders. And now, your local forecast. Boy, it's dark in some places, but it's sunny everywhere else. Over to Marisol with the weather.
Okay, that's a mid-music change, alright. Alrighty then. Brown, 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 brown. Jason Bourne! I read that as Jason Bourne for a moment. I was like, wait a minute. Okay. Probably just gonna skip credits. I don't feel like just sitting here listening to music the entire time. I don't want to just get to talking. Cool. So I'm gonna say is that of the three of them, this one's gameplay overall felt like, in terms of like the gunplay and itself obviously felt best, kind of product of just being out much later, right? The story obviously was a very kind of like large departure from the previous ones, kind of, in a way, right? It is the type of it's really, he's just kind of mixed up in this entire situation, which granted in the first two he was mixed up in, you know, another organization's larger schemes, and he was kind of just like thrown into it. So I don't necessarily see it out of character or out of place or anything, but I definitely just felt a little bit weird. But I think if you were going to do a sequel to Max Payne 2, which ended on a note that could have, you know, easily ended the series or something, right? Just the ending lines of Max Payne 2, by far the best. But for 3 being what it was, I think it's actually pretty good. Some elements of the story are just kind of like, okay, whatever. But, and I guess my biggest actual complaint really is the, like, presentation was, like, majorly stepped down from 1 and 2. Not just the comic book paneling and stuff like that, which, you know, was pretty characteristic of the series at that point. So I'm kind of surprised they didn't really go make any harder efforts to at least make that present. Instead, so in Max Payne 1 and 2, the dialogue and the conversations, for the most part, and any time that Max was like monologuing for any significant amount of time, you know, in his head at the very least, it was during a either cutscene or during, well, the comic book panel scenes. During the actual gameplay and stuff, Max didn't talk all that much. There are some cases, sure, but for the most part, he didn't talk that much, which was they. Here, instead of like stopping, right, there's no comic book panels, there's no like just kind of, they, you know, did everything as live in-game cutscenes pretty much, which, you know, that's fine. Pretty standard practice, but it definitely kind of brought the presentation a bit down, in my opinion, just because it's what they didn't really then have the dialogue for those. So I guess let me restate it. For the first 2, because the dialogue and all that stuff was pretty much all contained within those areas, they had to make it work as like kind of a cohesive like paragraph, while in here you kind of just have a bunch of one-liners, I guess is the best way to put it, because he's just continually reacting to the situation, rather than either setting up a situation that you're going to have to play through for the next 15 minutes and then commenting potentially on that situation or the results of that situation. Here he's just kind of dropping one-liners throughout, saying like, oh man, this shit. Also, they really went hard into kind of like the sarcastic-y nature of Max, which, you know, I guess makes sense at this point. He's like extremely disillusioned about it all. The fact that he's got roped again into basically this exact same type of situation of just being manipulated as a tool for murder, pretty much, between these other actors. But I think that also kind of clashes with, not it clashes, but due to the one-liner nature of it, where you're just kind of getting constant quips and that stuff, makes it weaker overall. While in the first 2 and that stuff, sure, there was some, you know, obviously disillusioned cop who had his family murdered type behavior and comments and that stuff, during Max Payne 1 and 2, but because they're so self-contained and that stuff, it didn't feel like he was just constantly being like, ha, wow, man, isn't this shit. But besides that, overall, really enjoyed the game. Like I said, just wish the presentation was a little bit better. It's definitely a product of its time. They made the enemies kind of more lethal and turned painkillers into a like revive mechanic pretty much, which was fine for I think this difficulty, because it allowed me to still kind of play it like Max Payne 1 and 2, where I wasn't trying to turn it into a cover shooter, which just kind of was trying to turn it to be. Which, you know, product of its time there, cover shooters were all the rage. It's okay, right? Having a cover system isn't necessarily a bad thing, but there's definitely some times in Max Payne 1 and 2 where it would have been useful to have a cover system, especially with, like, the snipers and that stuff. It was a little bit clunky regarding to, like, I wish there was some way to move between covers, like some sort of key to do that or something, or to initiate that. So because there's a lot of cases where it's like, I need to move between covers, and how am I going to do that? Because when you shoot dodge is the safest way to actually do something while you're running between cover, but then, you're laying on the floor, and then the going from floor to cover was kind of awkward, where you have basically a stand-up animation where you stand all the way up and then go into the cover, rather than like trying to slink up into it. Anything else that was yeah, I know I'm throwing a lot of complaints, but overall enjoyed it. Music was fine, I think. Obviously, nothing even getting close to how good the original Max Payne themes were, that stuff. But overall, most of the music was fine. Fit the area pretty well. Yeah, like I said, gunplay and that stuff's much better. Just as a result of it being much later, I, as maybe as a more controversial opinion, I did like the gun system in terms of like you have two sidearms because you have two holsters, and then you can carry a long gun, and you have to drop it when you do a wield because he doesn't have a sling or something. And you can carry one gun and carry it in your hand. I like that system. Right, because it's not like two-hand guns are so uncommon. In fact, they're more common than normal handguns for most of the enemies, such that you can easily replace a dropped one if you wanted to swap to the dual wielding. And also, I do like that the fact that the pistols are, in my opinion, feel much, much better than the long guns, because it incentivizes you to kind of use the trademark handguns, that stuff that maybe, I'm not sure if it's intentional or not, but right, Max is more skilled with, potentially. So maybe that's why they feel better. Yeah, my only, I guess, actual major gameplay complaint really was the Juggernauts not being very clear actually how you deal with them, if it's like gimmick or just raw damage, because even towards the end, after I completed the game, I don't know if it was a gimmick or if it was raw damage. I just needed to do the head, or if I needed to shoot the head at like a specific angle or something. Alright, yeah, that's the Max Payne trilogy. Overall, a really nice bundle of games there. Definitely pick it up if you get a chance. Usually they go on sale for like a bundle that's like $5, so definitely give a recommendation. One of my favorite game series overall. Max is a fantastic character in my opinion. And obviously, Max Payne 2 probably is the best of them in terms of like gameplay and writing combined and stuff like that, like as an actual complete package. Personally, I also really enjoyed 1's narrative throughout the game more, while 2, it only really picked up to me at the beginning and the end. The middle was kind of meh in 2 for me in terms of like engaging with the story. Alright.